Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Dakota, the place where we try to peek behind the corporate curtain and see what is really going on in these filings. We've got a proxy statement from Zedge Incorporated today, and it seems like they're getting ready for their annual meeting. Let's see what is on the agenda and if there is anything juicy hidden in those pages. And hey, if you like uncovering the truth about companies, make sure you are subscribed and join our Discord community linked in the description below. It is a great place to chat about these companies. So, Zedge is holding its annual stockholders meeting on the 14th of January 2026. It is like a yearly checkup for the company where shareholders get to weigh in on important decisions. They're looking to elect 6 directors, which is pretty standard for a company. Think of directors as the guardians of the company, overseeing management and making sure things are run properly. They're also asking stockholders to approve keeping Yuhi ILP as their independent public accounting firm. This means Yuhi will be the ones to check the company's financial books to make sure everything is on the up and up. Finally, they want to approve an amendment to their 2016 stock option and incentive plan. This is essentially asking for permission to issue more company stock as rewards for employees, which can be a big deal for how people are paid and how incentives are structured. Now, let's talk about who is in charge, or at least who wants to stay in charge. The proxy statement lists 6 directors who are up for re-election. We have Michael Jonas, who is the executive chairman and chairman of the board. He is also described as the controlling stockholder, which means he owns a significant chunk of the company, giving him a lot of voting power. Then there is Howard S. Jonas, who is the vice chairman of the board and Michael's father. It sounds like a bit of a family affair at the top. We also see Mark Gamesian, a serial entrepreneur and investor Elliot Gibber, who has experience as an interim CEO and leads a major egg products company, Paul Packer, an investment advisor focused on high-tech startups, and Gregory Suss, a founding partner of an entertainment management company. These directors have a mix of experience from running businesses to investing and legal backgrounds. The board seems to be emphasizing their independence, which is important for good corporate governance. They have a whole set of rules to determine if a director is truly independent, meaning they don't have financial ties that could cloud their judgment. They've made sure to highlight that a good chunk of their board and key committees are considered independent. This is crucial because independent directors are meant to provide unbiased oversight, even though Michael Jonas, the controlling stockholder, is on the board. They've made an effort to ensure that other directors meet strict independence standards. They've even pointed out a specific relationship where Gregory Suss's company has a referral agreement with Zedge, and they've explained why they don't see that as impacting his independence. It shows they are very careful about how they define and assess independence. Let's look at how these non-employee directors are compensated. For the fiscal year 2025, each of the independent directors Mark Gamesian, Elliot Gibber, Paul Packer, and Gregory Suss received a total of $70,000. This compensation was split evenly between cash and stock awards. So they got $35,000 in cash and $35,000 worth of company stock. This practice of paying directors in stock is common. It aligns their interests with those of the shareholders as they benefit when the company's stock price goes up. It is interesting to note that the insider directors, Michael Jonas and Howard Jonas, did not receive any compensation for their service as directors. This is typical for controlling shareholders or those deeply involved in running the company. Now, about that amendment to the 2016 stock option. An incentive plan, this is where the company asks for approval to add more shares to their stock option pool. Specifically, they want to increase the shares available by 150,000. Stock options and incentive plans are a key part of how tech companies attract and keep talented employees. By giving options, the company hopes that employees will be motivated to work hard to increase the company's value, because if the stock price goes up, their options become more valuable. The plan itself has been around since 2016 and has been amended several times to adjust the number of shares, the types of awards, and other details. The current proposal is to increase the total number of shares reserved for grants under the plan. The current total number of shares available under the plan, if this amendment is approved, will be 27,810,000 as of the 31st of July 2025. There were 842,000 securities remaining available for future issuance, with a weighted average exercise price of $2.03. This proposal is really about ensuring the company has enough stock to keep offering these incentives to attract and retain key talent, which is essential for its long-term success, especially in a competitive tech landscape. When we look at executive compensation, we see some interesting numbers. For fiscal year 2025, Jonathan Reich, the Chief Executive Officer, had a total compensation of $596,968, which included his salary, bonus, and stock awards. Michael Jonas, as executive chairman received $104,894 in stock awards in 2025. His base salary is paid in restricted stock that vests over 3 years, so the reported value is the grant date fair value. Then there is Yi TSI, the chief financial officer, with a total compensation of $332,739 in 2025. It is important to understand that these numbers from the summary compensation table are based on specific accounting rules, and the actual compensation actually paid can differ quite a bit, mostly due to changes in the value of stock awards from when they were granted to when they vest. For example, in fiscal year 2025, the compensation actually paid to Mr. Wright was higher than reported in the table, mainly due to an increase in the fair market value of his stock awards. The pay vest performance table gives us a slightly different view, comparing compensation with company performance. It shows that for a $100 investment, the total shareholder return was $26.17 in fiscal year 2025 and $23.57 3 years before. This means that $100 invested in Zedge stock would have grown to $26.17 in 2025. Also, their net income figures show a loss for all 3 years presented, with a loss of $2,392,000 in 2025. So while the stock price might have gone up, indicating some investor confidence, the company has consistently been losing money. This is a bit of a mixed message and something to watch closely. It looks like they are betting on future growth and stock appreciation to make these compensation packages worthwhile. So, if we look at Zedge Incorporated from this filing, they are going through the standard corporate motions of an annual meeting. They've got their leadership team, some of whom are family, and they are ensuring a good portion of their board are considered independent, which is a positive sign for governance. They are also planning to issue more stock as incentives to keep their employees motivated, which is a common practice in their industry. Financially, the company has been in the red for the past few years, but the stock performance has shown some positive movement. This suggests that investors are perhaps optimistic about the company's future prospects or the value of its stock. Even though it is not yet translating into profitability, the increase in director compensation and stock awards is a sign that, despite the losses, they are committed to retaining experienced leadership and incentivizing their team. The key will be whether their strategies and the incentives they offer can turn those losses into profits and sustainable growth. Alright, that is our breakdown of Zedge's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Do you think the strategy of awarding stock options will help them achieve profitability? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.